Cheezy Kale Crisps. I'm going to show you how to make these in my tiny little kitchen. And then we're going to review the horror movie from 1981, Wolfen, which has a very strong animal activism message in it too. Welcome to Ocean Chicks Films. Welcome to a brand new episode of Movie Reviews and Munchies, where I review my favorite movies while eating vegan snacks, and we talk about activism too, every Monday and Thursdays on this channel. So if you're into all of that, then please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to turn on the bell notification button so that you'll get notified when I upload my latest videos. And give this video a like because that helps me out a lot. And feel free to comment below because I'd love to chat with you. Hi, how are ya? I hope you guys are doing really great today, and thanks for hanging out with me. My name is Karen, and I'm from Ocean Chicks Films, and today we're going to be looking at the movie Wolfen from 1981. But first, let's step into my kitchen, and I'm going to show you how to make my movie snack tonight, Cheezy Kale Crisps. They're so delicious. Welcome to my tiny little kitchen. So today I thought for fun we would try out one of my vegan recipes in the kitchen, and I'll tell you how to make it. For the Cheezy Kale Crisps you will need 2 bunches of kale, leaves ripped into big bite-sized pieces, stems removed, washed and completely dried, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, and 1/2 teaspoon of hot sauce. And for the seasoning you will need 1/2 teaspoon each of garlic powder, dried mustard powder, smoked paprika, and pink salt, and 1/2 cup of nutritional yeast flakes. Next, you're going to drizzle your oil, vinegar, and hot sauce all over your leaves, then gently massage them until they are fully coated, just like this. Next, you need to season your leaves. Take the dried seasoning, sprinkle it over the top, and the nutritional yeast. Then with your hands, gently toss the leaves up until they are all well coated with seasoning, just like this. Now give one of the leaves a little taste test and add a little bit more seasoning if you feel it needs it. Next, you're going to line 2 baking sheets with parchment paper and spread your leaves out very evenly over the sheets, trying not to crowd the kale leaves as they will not crisp up while baking if you do that. These are your kale leaves ready to go into the oven. Preheat oven to 350 degrees. And with the extra kale chips, just run a second batch through your oven. Don't try to crowd the tray because they'll turn out soggy. Now pop both trays into your oven and set the timer for 12 to 15 minutes, checking them throughout to make sure that they're not going to burn. Keep in mind, they may need another 5 minutes or so to fully crisp up. And yep, mine needed an extra 5 minutes. So what I did was gently flip the leaves over, and I combined the 2 trays together onto one, and then I popped them back in the oven for another 5 minutes. And this is the finished product, nice and crispy, and they smell so good. See how they've reduced to about half the size from the original? That's why you want to do 2 bundles of kale at once so that you get a lot of chips. Now let them rest for about 10 minutes so that they can cool down and they'll continue to crisp up. Then you can put them in an airtight container and they'll store for a few days that way, although I'm pretty sure like us, you're going to eat them all. I've got an icy cold kombucha to go with my kale crisps because it makes for a nice combo. But you know what else would be really nice? A glass of wine. Well, maybe next time. I'm going to pour my mango papaya kombucha in a glass, grab some kale crisps, and then we can go review Wolfen. Here they are, Cheezy Kale Crisps and my kombucha, which, by the way, smells so good. Let's try the kombucha first. So good. You can really taste the mango and the papaya. Okay, let's try our Cheezy Kale Crisps. Oh yeah, those are so good. These are my favorite snacks. I love eating these. I can't stop eating these is the problem. They're so good though. So one other cool thing I thought about with this drink, because it's got papaya in it. Papaya is really good for your skin too. So I don't know if you've eaten fresh papaya or not. They're really good. It's same as mango. But so with a papaya, you buy fresh papaya, you slice it in half, scoop out all the seeds, and then you eat the flesh, which is really sweet and juicy and delicious. But what I do is I leave the skin with a little bit of the flesh still attached, like that little bit that you don't scoop out with a spoon. And you can keep it in the fridge for about a week in an airtight container. And what I find is I take the flesh from the skin and I just rub it on my face like a facial, let it sit there for about 10 minutes to dry a bit, and then just rinse it off with water, and your skin gets tightened up and is so soft and amazing after that. I absolutely recommend it. It seems really weird, but it's actually a cool, natural beauty treatment that I really love to do and I highly recommend, as well as drinking it. I'm sure it's good for your insides too. If it's good for your outer skin, it's good for your esophagus and that kind of thing too. You should try it. This kombucha is really good. Okay, so Wolfen is from 1981. It was directed by Michael Wadley, who is famous for the documentary Woodstock from 1970. Yeah, 1970. Wolfen, from 1981, is a horror thriller directed by Michael Wadley and based on Whitley Strieber's 1978 novel, The Wolfen. It stars Albert Finney, Diane Venora, Gregory Hines, and Edward James Olmos. A city cop assigned to uncover what is behind a series of vicious murders, believed to be that of animal attacks, until the cop discovers an ancient Indian legend about wolf spirits. I think this film was really fantastic. It was very different. It didn't do super well at the box office, but there's a couple of reasons why. One of the things is it kind of got labeled as a werewolf film. That's what people were expecting around that time, because around that time frame, 2 movies were out that were werewolf films. American Werewolf in London, which I'm sure you've all seen. I love that one. And The Howling, which is another good one. But this film, Wolfen, wasn't exactly the same kind of concept. And I think in some ways it was even better than those other 2 films. It was about Native American wolf spirits that have a connection to humans because we share the same planet. In that way, it's about animal activism. There's that underlying message, even though it's a horror thriller. Animal activism and how we should respect nature, respect these animals, and work with them rather than against them. It makes me think of this drawing I did when I was in grade 3. And I did this drawing and my teacher put it on the door in the classroom and I was really proud of it. We used to go to the library in the school around that time and get books. We could get 1 book for the week. And the book that I chose a couple of weeks in a row was this beautiful book about wolves. And I was just awestruck by them. I was fascinated with them. I loved how they had blue eyes, these icy blue eyes, and the beautiful fur and how strong and majestic they were. And so I did a drawing and she put it on the door and it made me feel really special. And then it kind of pumped up that feeling of me really falling in love with wolves and nature and animals. So I think that's really special. This film kind of brought that memory back to me. And this movie kind of brings about the idea that the wolf species is being decimated. I believe it's in New York. That's where they're showing this where it's located. And the Wolfen, or wolf spirits, actually hunt the humans that are trying to kill them. I also think it's a social commentary on Native American culture as well. So it's that kind of a concept. I think it's really cool that they did that with a horror movie. I'm going to try in the next while to look up more films that have that kind of thing going on with them, because I think that makes the film really special. The film was done in a dreamlike state with beautiful visuals, and with the animal activism component to it, I think it was way ahead of its time. Audley used this filming technique called thermal imaging, which is, he uses in parts of it that it's kind of a cool digital looking effect that he used in the parts where the wolves were actually from their perspective. And it was really neat, but it was way ahead of its time. And the people that made the movie Predator actually used that technology. It's kind of cool that he did that, and it adds a lot to the film. I love that Albert Finney was in the film. I think he's really cool. He was in so many like little bit parts and things in lots of films when I was growing up, so he was really familiar to me. And Aaron Brockovich, he's in that one years later down the road, and Aaron Brockovich is one of my all-time favorite activists. So that's super cool. I love that. This film especially, it's really cool when you start digging into the behind the scenes and all of the things that were going on at that time when they're creating a film, and you can kind of see where they're coming from with it. I don't know if that's the artist in me or what, but I love the process of seeing how things came to be and how things were creative. When you have somebody very artistic that's putting together something really unique, even if it doesn't do that well in the box office, I think it makes it so much more special, and then it's longer lasting over the years. I love those kinds of movies so very much. I love when people put their passion and their hearts into something and it kind of evolves. I love watching that process happen. Because the film had these actors and this sort of feel to it, it makes me think of a 70s film rather than an 80s film. For some reason, to me, the film itself kind of made me feel and remember The Omen. You remember that movie? And also Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the one with Donald Sutherland. I loved this movie. I think it was fantastic. I never look at box office successes or how much money the movie takes in the first 3 days. I like to take a movie, watch it myself, and then judge it from there to see if I like it or not, because I think like movies, just like paintings, it's really personal. You know, one person might despise a movie and think it's awful, and another person might really like it, depending on the subject matter, who made it, where it was filmed, what it was about, what goes with it. So I think you should always like give movies a chance and check them out for yourself, rather than just deciding, oh, everybody hated it, so I'm not going to watch it, because you miss out on a lot when you do that. Thing that myself and my family do too is we'll go to the video store if we can rent a movie, or choose a movie online and just randomly pick one really fast, and then that's the one we watch, whether we were looking for it or not. And you know what, sometimes those movies can be the best ones that you watch, the most fun. Hey, so I'm gonna give this movie 4 shark bites. I thought it was really good. I really loved it, and I'd like to watch it a couple more times actually. Hope that you'll check it out if you haven't seen it already. Wolfen. There's also a book called The Wolfen, which was a little bit different than the movie, but still equally as good as well. This was super fun this week. I'm sorry I was away last week. It was my birthday week and things got kind of crazy, and then I just got kind of putting off doing the work. And then I came up with this new concept of doing this cooking in the kitchen. So let me know if you like that. Comment below some recipes you'd like me to try out and do. Of course, I'd like to stay towards plant-based or vegan recipes, if that's at all possible. But I'm going to try to think of another one to try on Thursday for you, something maybe a little bit more intricate and more fun. I thought I would just do something simple for the first one though, but I thought that was really fun. So thanks for stopping by. I love you guys, and we'll see you again on Thursday. Bye!